Democrats continue their pathetic attempts to dismantle the Second Amendment.
25 House Democrats introduced legislation last Friday to slap a 1,000% excise tax on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
Yeah, we always say so-called assault weapons. Get this, the bogus tax would raise the price of, say, a $500 weapon to $5,000.
But guess what? We're going to ban assault weapons again, come hell or high water. And high-capacity magazines.
They're semi-automatic rifles. I suppose that's what he's talking about. Come hell or high water. Joining us now, Second Amendment advocate, Colion Noir. Colion, always great to see you. These Democrats are essentially telling working class people, you can't own these guns, but rich people can because they can afford them.
Yeah, and this is nothing new. They've been doing this for decades at this point. And for them, for some reason, when it comes to our ability to defend ourselves, he has a problem with that. And anyone knows who is into firearms understands that the semi-automatic rifle is one of the best tools possible to use in defense of yourself and your home. So why would you want to limit that to people who are just trying to protect their family?
Yeah, and I really feel for, say, a 19-year-old who doesn't feel safe in the big city. Maybe she's trying to do the right thing, go to college to be able to protect herself. Why shouldn't she have the same ability to defend herself as maybe somebody else should? I mean, and the other thing that I find is that these Democrats who advocate this, they know very little about guns. They don't know how they operate. They don't know what they're like. They don't know what they are. They don't even know what to call them.
Yeah, and they really don't have an incentive to learn anything about firearms because for them, the ultimate goal is control. And, hence gun control. So if you can create an environment or a population of people who have to wholly depend on the government in order to protect themselves, that for them, that's the perfect scenario. I always have to look to and depend on the government because if my life, the most important thing that I have to look to the government to protect that. Well, that means they could pretty much do anything they want to me at that point. And I'll have no ability or means to fight back.
Indeed. And Democrats also love, Colion, to say that no one really owns guns. But that is a bold-faced lie. And we have not just numbers to prove it, but new numbers to prove it. There's a new study that shows that at the high end, 60% of Americans own guns, 40% even at the lowest end of this study. And this is very different. 30%, less than a third, is the number that's always cited. I surely believe it. Because I talk to people who have FFLs, or federal firearms licenses, people who own and operate gun stores, and the people coming in are women because the people in power are not protecting law-abiding residents and citizens in this country.
Yeah, no, I think when you really boils down to it is this. Most people understand that owning a firearm for protection is common sense. You really don't have to be a genius to understand this. However, what the left has done by and large is create an environment and a culture where you have to almost feel ashamed if you do have a firearm. So a lot of people out there, from a common sense perspective, know, yeah, I'm going to have a firearm to protect myself. But if someone comes to ask me and say, do you have a firearm? Do you own a firearm? They're going to say no, or they just won't talk about it at all because they don't want to be crucified. They don't want to be termed baby killers or whatever epithet that the other side likes to use in order to shame us for simply wanting to exercise our Second Amendment rights. So when you create a culture like that, then you're going to get a lot of weird information or misinformation about how many people actually own firearms. But in reality, as you so beautifully stated, a ton of people have guns. They may not talk about it like I do, but they have them.
Well, I got 6. And my wife and I both have concealed carry permits. We shouldn't even have to have a concealed carry permit, but we have 6. And Colion Noir, I got to thank you for joining us tonight. And by the way, last thought, you know who's the best salesman on guns? The Democrats. Tell them you're going to give 1,000% increase on the cost of their weapon. Everybody's going to run down and go get their weapon. Democrats know how to sell guns better than anybody else out there.
It's a gift and a curse, man, because you're absolutely right, but then it also increases the price of the guns. So
Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.